Alright, every pony. Chapter 3 of Dark Magic. Chapter 3, Succumbing into Darkness.
Twilight, wake up!
A gentle voice called into her mind. The alicorn opened her eyes. She couldn't make out the forms in front of her. Her head felt heavy, and as she tried to raise her foreleg to rub it, she was stopped. Her torso and forelegs were closed together by a gain metal harness. No, it was more like a cage around her body. Only her legs stuck out. She couldn't see any more purple hues left in her fur. It was just a dark gray now. As her vision cleared, she could see her reflection on it. Her purple face was slowly being engulfed by the gray. Her eyes were now green with red around them, that also spreading slowly. She stared up, still weak, with her body aching. She could finally make out the two figures standing in front of her.
Celestia? But why did you...
Twilight began, but was stopped.
I've made the same mistake too many times, Twilight Sparkle. What's happening to you has happened twice before,
the Sun Princess stated.
To Luna?
She said, glancing towards the dark blue alicorn. She had her head bowed in silence before she broke the silence and continued for Celestia.
To a friend that turned into a monster. Into Sombra. Into Sombra?
Twilight thought in confusion. Celestia looked away and sat down before answering.
King Sombra used to be Star Swirl the Bearded until the dark magic corrupted him. As you know, Luna and I turned him into shadow and banished him into the ice until we could eventually turn him back. That is, until your friends destroyed him,
Luna finished in what sounded like an angry tone.
King Sombra used to be Star Swirl the Bearded?
Twilight repeated in her head. Celestia stood up.
Time is wasting. Your friends should be here by now. Come, Luna,
the tall mare stated as she left the confused Twilight in her cell. Luna glanced at her a couple times before following her sister.
My friends?
The purple pony thought longingly.
Who were they?
She was starting to forget. Their names and faces were a hard thing to remember now.
They are those who betrayed you.
A shadow figure formed from her own that had fixed itself on the wall. It resembled that of King Sombra, but instead, It looked like this being was fading from existence. Twilight looked up. The space of fur around her eyes was the only part remained purple now. Her mane was now black. Some of it flowed like fire, but it was more than before. She stared at him hopelessly.
Betrayed me? Is that the Sombra?
She thought, trying to remind herself.
Didn't she destroy him? That's right! I thought
My essence survived, dear Twilight. He spoke. Now, I'm only here to help you. The power you now hold isn't dangerous. Your dear ruler just wants you out of the way to remain on the throne, he whispered as he swirled around her, holding her like that of a snake. Twilight was forgetting quickly which was perfect for him. Old memories thrown out and new ones are put in. They are close now. Celestia, Luna, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rarity were close to arriving to the Tree of Harmony. They had stopped at Zecora's cottage to see if she had anything, but they were shocked to find her place and her body in ruins.
Princess Celestia? Are you sure that this will give us back Twilight?
Fluttershy asked. Her forehead was bandaged, and so was her left foreleg. Like her friends, she had faded scars here and there on her flank.
Yes, but we only have a limited window of time to save her. Once we retrieve the elements, the Tree of Harmony will start to die again. We have to save her before it dies for good,
she answered.
Luna, I will wield Twilight's element. I only need you for backup if I was to fail,
she informed the blue alicorn as they approached the stairway that led down to the tree. The younger sister stopped in her tracks.
But sister,
Luna began in protest.
I've made up my mind, Luna,
the white mare yelled.
Yes,
Luna answered, obeying her sister's wish. The 7 ponies stood in front of the tree. Celestia and Luna each levitated the elements from their rightful places and put them in the empty necklaces of the small ponies before them. Celestia placed Twilight's element in her old crown before placing it on top of her head.
Is every pony ready?
Luna shouted.
Ready!
They shouted. Celestia nodded at them. Let's go. With that, the ponies charged away.
Is that true?
The purple mare asked herself, for she didn't know the answer anymore. Join with me, Twilight, the shadow Sombra whispered. She had no choice. This was all she knew now. She was darkness, and he was the only one she could trust. She simply nodded her head as the dark force entered her, engulfing her into the darkness forever. Author's note: Done Dun dun! Sorry if chapter 3 is a bit clustered, but as it turns out, this chapter is a bit shorter than the other two. Looks at index cards where I wrote down a summary of each chapter. My dear, sweet Celestia, what is this? 3 chapters left? Well, let's make it a doozy. I might split the last one into 2 chapters just because of the stuff that hits the fan there. At least this one is done. It was meant to be an explanation chapter. If you're confused and need to ask a question, just ask in the comments or PM me. Same for suggestions. Edit. Also, what do you guys think this dark Twilight should be called? Trying to go off of when they create a new name for themselves. Like Luna into Nightmare Moon. Ooh, that's actually... Ooh. I don't know. How about Malevolent Sparklebutt? Come on. The end.